Welcome to the 2020 Lincoln Soda 2 Cooley Montessori Virtual 8th Grade Farewell Celebration. Before we begin, we would like to recognize that our physical school building and much of the land around it occupies the land of the Ho-Chunk people. Please join together in a moment of silence to celebrate and honor this ancestral Ho-Chunk land and the sacred lands of all indigenous peoples. Thank you. Now please stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we will hear from Principal Murray, who will officially begin our celebration.
Good evening. I am Melissa Murray, principal of Lincoln Soda 2 Cooley Montessori Adolescent. Welcome to our 8th grade farewell celebration and our live stream of the celebration. Hello at home and wherever you are watching from. We are very happy to be able to provide some great memories this evening for all of you, but especially to our outgoing 8th grade students. Normally we would say we will miss you, but now we say we do miss you. We miss all of you. There are so many quotes and phrases that I could use tonight. These are the times that try our souls. We will come out stronger on the other side. We're all in this together. And so many others. One of my favorites is go big or go home, but since we are already home, that one loses its punch a bit. So just go big. Go big in everything you do as you move forward from here to make up for this time of having to be intentionally small. Go big as a person with other people. Go big with your heart and with your kindness and with your smile. Go big and make the dreams of others come true. Go big with your own big dreams. Go big imagining how things can be different, and then go big to make big change. Being small and invisible is not for you. Be seen in big and important ways.
Thank you, Principal Murray. We will now hear our very own show choir, 9th Street Connection, perform Somewhere Over the Rainbow, originally performed by Israel Kamikavivo Ole.
Way up
special thank you to show choir director Ms. Katie Fries and the 8th graders for sharing that performance with us. 8th grade teacher Mrs. Kim Stofflet will now present the 2020 Pride Award.
I have the pleasure of recognizing one of our 8th grade students by presenting him with a well-deserved award. The Pride Award was established by former Lincoln principal Tucky Skemp. Although retiring, Mrs. Skemp wanted to continue to recognize and reward students for their hard work and tenacity when faced with adversity. All of us encounter challenges in our lives, but how we respond can be quite different. The 8th grade teachers have noticed that this young man attacks responsibilities with a positive attitude and focus. Throughout the entire 8th grade year, Avon Witchell strived to do his personal academic best. Mrs. Skemp would be proud of how Avon has chosen to persevere. Hard work literally pays off. Avon will receive a certificate and a cash reward. Congratulations, Avon.
And now, 8th grade teacher Mrs. Mandy Hunt will present the 2020 Larry Myra Science Award.
This year we have an award that will be given to a hardworking student in the content area of science. This was created by Larry Myra, former principal of Lincoln Middle School and former district science supervisor. The student was selected by Lincoln Middle School 6th, 7th, and 8th grade science teachers who has consistently, year after year, demonstrated the knowledge and curiosity to pursue the questions of physical, life, and earth science. The Lincoln 8th grade student has displayed aptitude and potential of someone who may enter a scientific track in high school and beyond. It is my pleasure to present the Myra Science Student of the Year Award along with the savings bond to Porter Culp. Congratulations, Porter.
The next segment of our 8th grade event focuses on students' answer to the question, what life lessons did I learn, either this year or during middle school in general? Their answers demonstrate the insight, compassion, and humor that this amazing group of 8th graders has.
My life lesson that I learned over this year and the past years is to never trust Gabby.
Hey, that's fair.
Hello, my name is Renee Astorga, and the thing I learned this year is that working hard will get you a reward eventually, and procrastinating will get you nothing.
One life lesson that I learned this year is to always expect the unexpected because of the weird events that occurred this year with the coronavirus and quarantine still progressing. Life will always throw curveballs at you, and we all need to be prepared for it ahead of time.
I'm Henry Meyer, and one valuable life lesson I learned in 8th grade at Lincoln Middle School was always to be a leader, not a follower.
I'm Siri, and in the last few years of middle school I've learned so much, but one that will stick with me the longest is that fear is just another reason to try harder.
One thing I learned in 8th grade was that Miss P. Johnson really likes to pick on me for no reason when I'm minding my own business.
To get larger projects turned in on time or earlier.
You should be compassionate and friendly towards your colleagues and friends and everyone you know, even if you dislike them.
My name is Brock Sullivan, and something I learned this year is how to organize my homework and other things.
I learned to be a better person.
I've gotten much better at my timing skills.
The important life lesson that I've learned this year is to always be careful when you're around people and to always wash your hands and be precautious.
My name is Amira Freeman Hardina from Cooley Montessori, and something important that I learned this year is that you should not let people from your past or present, no matter who they are, family or friends, hold you back from what you could be accomplishing or anything that you love.
Hi, I'm Ella. And I'm Ava. Something that I learned in my 3 years in middle school is to always be open to other people's ideas. I learned to be patient with others.
This year, I've learned to always work hard.
My name is Oliver Larson, and the major thing I learned from 8th grade was to do the long-term assignments right away and not to wait.
A life lesson that I learned is that you can be your own savior.
Hi, I'm Kaya, and this year I learned how to adapt to big and sudden change.
I learned to love myself and be myself. This year I learned who my true friends were.
Hey, it's Adeline.
And Claire.
Some life lessons that we've learned in the 8th grade are:
Over the years, we have all grown physically and mentally.
and having a couple close friends is better than having a big group of them.
Hey guys, my name is Tegan Schneider, and I learned about how the First Nations people had to move their land. The end.
Giving out kindness can always get kindness given back to you.
A life lesson I learned this year is to not procrastinate in school, because if you procrastinate in school, all the assignments you haven't done are going to fall on you and it's going to stress you out.
I learned about respect, responsibility, and relationships.
Some important life lessons I learned this year were to always be able to ask for help if you need it, and to always trust yourself even if you don't think you can do it.
This year, I have learned the importance of self-discipline and how it will affect my future.
Hi! This is how we're social distancing. We have a tape measure. You can't see it, but it's 7 feet apart. And we have blankets and we're doing homework. Okay, bye!
The lesson I've learned this year is to not take anything for granted, because when we had school, most of us just wanted out. When the second it was gone, we realized how much we actually enjoyed it.
This is Antoine, and something that I learned really important this year is not to discriminate, and how to write a really, really big paper like NHD. We have to write a really, really big paper. And 2 or 3 memories that I have is Mrs. P. Johnson, when I first came in, and she kept calling me LeBron James, because when I was in 6th grade, she told me that name. Another memory I have this year is just getting to know new people, like people that came to our school. And like another memory I have is sports. Sports is like middle school sports will always be with me, because like my first time playing like for like a school, like an actual school representing a school.
I learned that procrastinating homework makes it much harder than it has to be.
During the school year, I learned not to take simple things for granted.
Hey, my name is Evan. Life can be scary, but always take one day at a time, and family will always be there to help.
I have learned that you don't have to be at school to learn things, and also sometimes crazy things happen that you can't predict, such as the shutdown.
What I learned during quarantine is that it's very hard to distinguish whether or not it's time to take a break or not.
Whatever your heart desires, speak it into existence.
I've learned to be ready for anything that might happen throughout the rest of my life, whether it's good or bad.
This school year, I learned to be successful.
This school year, I've learned to be kind.
Hello, it's me, Andrew, and the lesson I learned is that hard work pays off.
This year, I learned that it's better to burn out than to fade away.
One thing I learned during quarantine was be careful what you wish for, because it might just come true.
I have learned how to better deal with stress.
I'm Oscar, and in middle school, the lesson I've learned is to do stuff early rather than later.
It's Jared, and the most important thing I learned in 8th grade is that you should never let yourself get stuck, and that you should always ask for questions when you need help.
Some lessons that I've learned this year are: don't take good things for granted, sometimes change isn't all bad, and enjoy the little things.
Hi, I'm Rosa, and the biggest life lesson that I've learned in middle school is don't let opportunities pass you by. If there's a chance to learn something new, just take it.
A life lesson that I've learned is to make as many memories with your friends as you can before you split paths and it's too late.
Get that work done. I'm not messing with you. Get over here and do your work.
Important life lessons that I have learned this year is that nothing is impossible. If you put your mind to something, you can achieve it.
In healthy living class, I learned how to cook more foods so I can cook for my family and help them.
I have learned that friends are important.
You have to love and take care of yourself first in order to do so for others.
A life lesson I learned in 8th grade is don't take stuff for granted.
An important life lesson I learned this year was to never give up on doing schoolwork.
Greetings, fellow citizens. My name is Mikey Deo, and I'm an 8th grader at Lincoln. So yeah, and I'm gonna be going to Central, and my important life lesson for the year is that I learned to take it one day at a time, to not worry about the future or the past, but just focus on the now. So yeah, have a good day, everyone.
Hi, it's been this year of 8th grade that I've really learned how to prioritize my time better and also to stay motivated no matter what.
I learned that not only do you have to accept and care for others for who they are, you also have to accept and care for yourself too.
Hello everybody, Cooper here, and one thing that I learned from this school year was to never take anything for granted.
Thank you for listening to my jokes.
Thanks, Xavier.
During my time at Lincoln, I learned that there will be stressful days, but you just have to power through it and wait for a better day. I think that I have learned to not take things for granted so much, especially during this pandemic.
A life lesson I've learned this year is to never give up and to keep trying no matter how hard it gets in life.
Over the course of quarantine, I have learned to accept reality.
One thing I learned this year is to be grateful.
That people can help you.
I learned that it is okay to ask for help.
My name is Aiden. Bruce Wayne. This year is that I learned about World War II and all the other wars. Thank you all for the teachers that helped me.
Lesson I learned is to be grateful during this pandemic because not everybody can work from home and get income to pay for their family and food.
In 8th grade, I learned that you should always live in the moment.
In 8th grade, I learned that you only live once, so make every day count.
I learned to be respectful, responsible, and safe.
A life lesson I've learned this year is to not procrastinate.
One of the lessons I learned this year was that kindness is always the best option. Another important lesson I learned was that procrastination doesn't get you anywhere. And lastly, a third lesson I learned was simply, don't worry, be happy.
I learned to be respectful.
Forget the mistake, remember the lesson.
Hi, I'm Mason. I learned many things this year, but one of the most important things was that studying for a test is really important.
Important life lesson I've learned is to focus on what's ahead of me.
Life is pain, but sometimes we have to go through that pain in order to learn.
Lesson I learned was, if you can do it, don't hesitate to do it.
Hi, I'm Cole, and ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance leads to darkness. Intelligence leads to the light.
Do what is right, not what is easy.
Now sit back and enjoy a few minutes of comic relief as Mrs. Stoffel and Mrs. Hunt provide some brief entertainment.
Why did the teacher go to the beach?
I don't know.
To test the water.
What did the ground say to the earthquake, Miss Hunt?
Something about shaking.
No. You crack me up.
I know I do. Why didn't the quarter roll down the hill with the nickel?
No clue, but that's a math one.
It is a math one because it had more sense.
Why didn't the two fours want any dinner?
2 4s.
Because they
I don't know.
already ate.
Yeah, that's from the background. What is the capital of Alaska?
The kids are working on this one. Mr. Olson would know.
He would know.
Okay.
Should have invited him to the party. Come on, you know this.
How is an English teacher like a judge?
PJ, judge. No.
They both give out sentences.
Wow, Miss Stoffler.
No, where's Mr. Olson when you need him?
The following segment of our virtual event includes favorite memories from the 8th grade class. These memories, of course, are just a small representation of the hundreds of memory submissions that were shared for this celebration. And now please enjoy a photo slideshow that captures memories and moments of our students. next segment includes special messages from the staff.
Congratulations, 8th graders! If you're thinking of trying something new and you're scared or it makes you a little uncomfortable, you should just do it. Go for it.
Hello, Lincoln 8th graders. Wow, what a year it has been to end your middle school career. It will go down in history as a very memorable one, to say the least. I have many fond memories this year in the history classes, from the pencil tappers to the feast second hour history provided in November before our fall break, the intensity of how some silent ball and the 10 games got in certain classes, to the sense of humor many of you display regularly, or not, or the discussion of some sports topic we virtually had every single day in 8th hour history. The fondest memories I will have of this class will be the numerous students consistently saying hi to me and others in the hallway and genuinely asking how I or others were doing. You are a group of very nice and sincere individuals, and those acts of kindness show the true types of people you are. I wish you all the very best in high school and beyond. Stay focused on your goals and do your best to accomplish them. Be smart, be safe, and be kind.
I'd like to repeat that you most certainly were one of Lincoln's kindest, most compassionate group of 8th graders. It was so refreshing to hear students compliment one another, support each other, and overhear conversations complimenting and asking people, how was your weekend? Just like Mr. Olson just finished saying. We wrote these speeches separately. But it's nice to hear us repeat that you did the same things. I certainly missed this camaraderie while teaching remotely, and I'm sure that all of you did too. At this point in the year, we traditionally be going on our 8th grade field trip, signing yearbooks, and after this 8th grade ceremony, having a blast at the 8th grade dance. If you close your eyes, I can take you to that 8th grade dance. Maybe the teachers will do that for you. The best parts of the mixer might have been watching Mr. Olson attempt to dance. Can you see him? Being in awe of your female teacher's dancing skills. Sharing pizza and memories with teachers and friends, or taking pictures in the photo booth. But alas, this can only take place in our minds. Since we cannot end the year as we'd like, please hang on to your most cherished memories of your time at Lincoln, as it's a very special place. Something you don't necessarily realize till you're gone. As you leave Lincoln and venture into your future, remember the words on my classroom wall. Never settle for less than your best. Better yet, don't let anyone else let you settle for less than your best. No one should expect less from you than you have to give. I want you to head into your future knowing what you're capable of. Set that bar high. A strong work ethic can help you reach any goal you set for yourself. Dream big, class of 2020. And don't forget to stay in touch.
Hey, 8th graders. I find myself feeling a little like Alex Petrosky these days. I'm sharing thoughts, ideas, and reaching out virtually, hoping to connect with others, not knowing if I will or not. And I'm not making daily recordings or planning to send them up on a golden iPod like he did, but at this point I feel like it might not be a bad idea. Although Alex always seemed to have direction, his path changed many times throughout the book. Know that your path won't be a straight line either, and that you too will learn, meet new people who change your life, and become stronger in the end. I found a quote from the book See You in the Cosmos that reflects your tenacity during these very different and difficult times that we're working through. Here's the quote. Most people give up on what they want. They'll come across the first little obstacle and they'll give up. And then they'll try to tear down the people that they see doing what they felt like they couldn't. Even with this roadblock of changing the way we teach and learn, you haven't given up. You've taken ownership of your learning, maybe now even more than when we were in the building. And you aren't placing blame on others. Even when technology isn't cooperating, you reach for solutions and not excuses. And these are characteristics that make your class so special. Your kind and caring hearts shine each day. As you venture off to high school, know that we'll be missing you extra since we don't get an in-person see you later. Stay in touch. We can't wait to see what your future holds.
Well, this is it, 8th graders. It's the end of the year already. It's sad that we can't be together right now. This isn't how we imagined the end of the year. I too, like Mr. Olson, will miss the pencil tapping, the intense games of silent ball, the debates between Antoine and Henry about sports, Caleb Peterson picking on me. He'll say I picked on him, but that's not really what happened. At any rate, I miss all of you. I wish I could have you in class together at least one last time, but that's not a choice, and so it is what it is. It's time to move on, time for high school, and I want to remind you of a few things that I told you probably a million times in class, but I think they're very important. Number one, you are powerful. Each of you has unique gifts and talents. Every one of you has something to give the world. Some of you are great listeners. We need great listeners in the world. Some of you are amazing speakers. We need people who can communicate clearly. Some of you are awesome organizers. We need that as well. Some of you are compassionate, and boy, do we need that more than ever right now. All of you have amazing gifts to dedicate to the world, and I hope you see that you have powerful impacts. Another thing to remember when we talk about power, and I talked about this a lot in class too, is that everything you say or do has the potential to hurt or help someone. So choose wisely. Remember that you have power. One last thing I want to focus on is the whole idea of stories. You remember the TED Talk by Chimamanda Adichie, The Danger of a Single Story, and how important it is to listen to others' perspectives, to always ask, whose story are we not hearing? Make sure that we listen to others, listen and learn, observe, and welcome each other. Know that we can't know other people's experiences without doing just that. And remember that your story is what makes you who you are. It makes you believe what you believe. It makes you fear what you fear. It makes you have goals that you have. So own your story, write your story, tell your story, or someone may do that for you. And one last piece of advice, because this is my motto, you might remember the first day of school: embrace your inner dork. Always let that little kid in you shine through. Never, ever grow up too much. Be silly and have fun. 8th graders, we are all one email away. Email us when you need help with anything. If you just want to vent, if you miss us, whatever, we're one email away, and we wish you the best. We love you all. Take care.
Good evening. Like many of you that had started your adventure 3 years ago coming into Lincoln, I had started my adventure at Lincoln too. And like all of you, this will be my last year at Lincoln, and we'll be moving on to our own new adventures. Within those new adventures though, I want people to remember about the stories that they create and the journeys and the people that they meet along the way. Not only is it important to recognize your own story, but be aware and understand how the people around you have created their own stories and how together you make great stories. You know, one of the quotes that I always enjoy living by, it comes from a movie, but the quote says, "Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies." In your adventures, journeys, and in the process of making your own stories, remember that hope is the strongest thing that keeps people going. And when you have hope, you still have everything. I hope that next year, as freshmen at Logan, Air Central, or wherever your adventures may take you, I hope you remember that hope is a good thing, and be good to each other. Thank you and congratulations, Lincoln Soda II Cooley Montessori 8th graders of 2020. Good night.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for, the recognition of the class of 2020 8th graders at Lincoln Soda II Cooley Montessori. Cole Arntz. Xavier Armagost, Renee Astorga, Hayden Bagstad, Bryn Bennett, Ella Bogie, Logan Boland, Lillian Bozick, Jada Bowman, Andrew Brisky, Jacob Bronson, Austin Bruley, Thomas Bryant, Gianna Buhan, Rihanna Cole, Beckett Cottrell, Gracie Cox, Ellison Culp, Porter Culp, Riley Doffenbach, Javon Davis, Anthony DeSalvo IV, Ava Detweiler, Michael Deo, Noah Dingle, Moses Drake, Siri Dvorshik, Nora Erickson, Savan Fielding, Lorinda Fleitner, Amira Freeman Erdina, Toby Gauch, Taya Goodman, Aaliyah Hamilton, Claire Hannum, Cooper Hansen, Ayla Hansen, Antoine Hardy Jr., Charlotte Hurling, Mariah Howe, Devin Shea, Gabrielle Jarman, Matthew Jarrett, Zachary Jobs, Riley Kerrigan, Stella Kennedy, Mackenzie Kimmett Humfeld, Luke Koch, Jocelyn Cacales, Victor Krish, Max Cupper, Ethan Larson, Oliver Larson, Madeline Lowe, Benjamin Lloyd, Kamarian Luster, Adeline Marcoux Smart, Isabella Masavich, Alexander Maxwell, Henry Meyer, Oscar Mosch, Carmen Mondragon, Bryn Moore, Lao Chu Mua, Cashton Myers, Rosa Myers, Serenity Newman, Alex Nyamiv, Sarah Ojalabi, Sarah Olson, William Parcher, Alexander Peterson, Asher Peterson, Caden Peterson, Caleb Peterson, Mason Rao, Maxwell Rao, Harper Reese, Anthony Rogers, Benjamin Runyon, Porter Ryan, Gabriela Salgado, Autumn Schiffer, Charlie Schleifer, Junior Miranda Schmidt, Tegan Schneider, Ella Schutenhelm, Kaylin South, Kaya Smith, Grace Snodgrass, Caden Sakawiak, CJ Susu, Liberty Sprain, Reardon Staffaroni, Bailey Stallsberg, Brock Sullivan, Kylie Swadley, Solomon Samansky, Priya Tao, Jontarian Thompson, Peter Thompson, Macy Tilson, Jared Compton, Abby Travis, Isaac Trokamoinen, Sarah Vandermolen, Johnny Vang, VJ Vang, Cooper Van Zee, Greta Vianden, Micah Vovis, Ashton Vu, Caleb Watuski, Aiden Weisenberger, Natalie White, Avon Witchelt, Arlo Wilker, Devin Wilkerson, Charlie Yang, Pajai Yang. Our final piece for tonight's celebration is a thank you list from the students, followed by general music credits. Thank you to all of you for tuning in to our virtual 8th grade farewell ceremony. Have a good night.